Well, beautiful people, thank you so much for joining. It's Darnell, and I have this cool upcycling project to show you guys. Here I have a t-shirt saying my presence is your present, and we are not going to keep this t-shirt this way. Oh goodness, it actually just got hooked onto my hair, but that's okay. We are going to take this t-shirt and step it up several notches, so stay tuned. So here I'm wearing the t-shirt. You see how it fits me like a regular old t-shirt, but that's not the way I want to wear it. I actually want to wear mine cropped with a little ruffle effect at the bottom. I think it's going to be super cute. Just for reference, I am wearing high-waisted jeans. Those are my favorite jeans to wear. So here I'm just pulling up the shirt to see exactly where I want it to stop. And this gives me an idea of where I should place my first straight pin. So I'm placing my straight pin where I think the middle of the ruffle should start. That changes a bit once I actually start to cut and put the shirt together the way that I want it. But either way, it still comes out great. I can't wait until you guys see it. So here I measure 2 inches from that pin and I place a second pin underneath. Now, really, the measurement should have been 2.5 inches. I didn't realize that until I referred back to Angelina's video, but here we go. To the cutting table. Now, here I'm laying this shirt out and I'm just straightening out the pins. That's when I grab my ruler and my rotary cutter because I figured this will cut it way cleaner than me using a pair of scissors. And I'm just cutting through the t-shirt. Note for you guys, if you decide to use this, just change your rotary blade. Yeah, mine was not the sharpest. I've been cutting a lot of material lately, so it's pretty dull at this point, which is why I was struggling. So here I realized I didn't measure 2.5 inches in between those pins. So I'm doing a new measurement and using the rotary blade again to just cut it where I actually need it to be cut. So again, the key to this is using a fresh blade, in my opinion, but either way, I got it done and that's what matters. Okay, so now that it's done, I took that strip that I cut, put it over the excess part of the t-shirt, and I cut a second strip the same size as the first strip. Now this is needed because each strip will be for the front as well as the back of the t-shirt. Then cut those strips in half and set aside. So now I realize my t-shirt looks a little crooked, so I just take my rotary blade once again and straighten that out. I also believe that the printing on the shirt was not placed on completely straight, which kind of threw me off a bit, but whatever. I just made it appear to be straight by cutting a little strip of it. So now I fold the end of the t-shirt up half of the size of the strip once the strip is folded into half. Then I take the strip using my measuring tape and I just measure out every 2 inches. I create a little slit using the tip of my scissors. Now, the key to doing this is to use just to cut a very tiny slit. I, on the other hand, my slits were a little bit bigger than I think they should have been, which may not help the shirt to last very long because the more you wash and wear it and pull the string tighter and loosen it, it will make those slits stretch. So that's why it's key to cut very small, tiny slits if you can. And I just continue this all the way down the strip. And now as for the t-shirt, I am cutting a slit once every 1 inch. And I do that for the front portion of the t-shirt as well as the back. So I just brought like the front and the back pieces. I just kind of pinched the t-shirt between my fingers and then cut it so that it cut the front and back in the same position, if that makes sense. Now I proceed to cut a slit every 2 inches in the other strip, just like I did the first time. Now, you're going to cut a 1 inch wide strip from the excess portion of the t-shirt and then cut that in half. And once you do that, you just cut the tag off because you don't need that. And then you just pull that strip and you just keep pulling it through your hands and stretching it, and that will actually turn it into t-shirt yarn. Then you take the one end, fold it over just a little bit, and take a safety pin and stick it through. The reason for this is so that you don't tear that end of the t-shirt yarn. So now I just line up one of my strips with the holes and proceed to feed the t-shirt yarn through. Now remember, you have more slits in that strip than you do your shirt. This helps to create that bunched or that ruffling effect that we are going for. So just take your time and do this. You know, it takes a little while, but it's okay. Just make sure you pay attention to each slit and that you don't skip anything. Now, a super major tip is to make sure that you overlap your second strip with your first strip. This will help to prevent having any gaps in between where the first strip ends and the new strip begins. I heard Angelina mention this, but for some reason my brain didn't remember it when it was time for me to add the second strip. So I actually had to take it out and redo it. And yeah, it makes it a lot easier if you just remember from the beginning. So unfortunately, I didn't realize that I didn't overlap my strips until I got to the very end and I had this disconnect going on. So at that point, I finagled the first and the second strip to overlap each other. And I also added another slit in order to make this work because for some reason it seemed to me that it just wouldn't work unless I added another slit. So hopefully you don't have to do that. But in my case, I did. And I just wanted to show you guys that I did run into a little struggle moment. But I redeemed myself and I figured out a way to fix it for myself. Okay, and then once I was done, I just pulled the string a bit to ruche up that material at the bottom and tied a bow at the end of it. Or you can also loosen it a bit to your liking until you are satisfied. But then you can loosen it to your liking to get the ruffles to look the way you want them to look. And let's go try it on. Do you guys like it? Let me know in the comments if you've enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I had such a great time trying out this upcycling project. You guys go check out Angelina's channel. It is Blueprint DIY. I will link it in the description box below. Okay, you guys, so I hope you all have enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments section if you like it. Thank you so much for watching, and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to you all. I will talk to you guys later. Bye. And oh yeah, FYI, I made those earrings too. All right, guys.